Now, what the heck is Lokshen, and why am I making a video about this? We'll get to that last part in a little bit. But Lokshen is a Yiddish word for Jewish egg noodles. You might be more familiar with lo mein and chow mein because the Chinese invented noodles, but they took it along the Silk Road, and there were many Jewish merchants along the way who, over time, developed their own version of it. Kind of like the Italians did, but with more complaining. Egg noodles are a common ingredient in Eastern European and Jewish recipes, such as sweet and savory kugels, another Yiddish word, and chicken noodle soup, and say, your mother's tuna casserole. Your mother's tuna casserole? That sounds like something Mark Wahlberg would say. But why am I talking so much about egg noodles? So for that, we have to go back about a month when I was watching this Adam Regusea video. If you're not a subscriber, his content is great. It's informative and enjoyable, interesting and educational at times. He put out this innocuous video on thin egg omelets and was like, hey, I discovered this interesting style of food. Why not make thin egg omelets and add cheese and mushrooms to them? And there's nothing incredibly groundbreaking about it, which again is fine, but yet I was genuinely surprised by my reaction to it. You see, while he was swishing the pan around making these thin omelets, I kept responding to the screen, oh, you're making Lokshen. And every time he would say something like thin or egg or omelet, I was like, oh, you mean Lokshen? Now I just told you Lokshen are egg noodles, not paper thin omelets. So what gives? Well, for that I have to cover about 5,000 years of Jewish history. Being Jewish, we would celebrate Passover around this time of year, March or April, depending on the year. And for those that haven't seen the 10 Commandments or, I don't know, Prince of Egypt or heck, the Rugrats Passover, it's the story of the Israelites being freed from Egypt. But they had to do it quick. I mean, morning got called sooner than you thought, I have to run to the gate type quick. So they didn't really have time to let their flatbread or pita rise. And for the first part of their 40 years in the desert, they ended up eating unleavened bread, which today we call matzah. The holiday is 8 days, and during that time, Jewish people refrain from eating anything with yeast or even wheat flour. That means no cakes, cookies, bread, bagels, and yes, even noodles. And if you're all in on the holiday, you have to make sure all your food is designated as kosher for Passover, from your Coca-Cola to your coconut macaroons. And you need to use special Passover dishes, and there is a whole lot more. Our parents raised us in a traditional Jewish household and did all that. And while it may sound restrictive, it's actually a really fun holiday. My family's favorite holiday. And on that holiday, my mother would make noodles by making what I thought were paper-thin omelets, but they were more like paper-thin egg crepes that she would roll up and chop up and make them into noodles. And that's what she called Lokshen. And let me tell you, with a nice bowl of matzo ball soup, it was heavenly. And that's why I'm talking about Lokshen. Well, so here's the truth. My mother isn't with us anymore. She actually died 9 years ago, and she never met my wife. She never met my children. Her grandchildren. In fact, she never met any of her grandchildren. And so when I'm watching this Regusea video about thin egg omelets, I just kept thinking about Lokshen. Or was I? You see, if you cook for your family or for a loved one, or you're just learning how to cook on YouTube, we're always trying so hard to get it right. We're trying to unlock flavor or a technique, and we sprinkle and saute and knead, grind, and grill, and even burn your way through a meal. But food has this way of unlocking memories. We spend a lot of time eating with our family and friends, loved ones, and potential loved ones. And we form memories around those moments and meals. I do think about my mother a lot. I don't remember her as often as I would like, but sometimes I forget to remember. And so that's why I wanted to try to make this recipe and share it with you. The original recipe called for 1 cup of potato starch, and while I was successful in making noodles with that, I just felt like it didn't taste like how I remembered it. I remember my mom's Lokshen were a little more eggy, and I ended up cutting the amount of potato starch down to about 90 to 95 grams or a half a cup. I felt it got closer to it. It's not a difficult recipe, it just takes practice cooking it. Mix up 3 eggs in a bowl and add 1 cup of water to a half a cup or 90 to 95 grams of potato starch and a pinch of salt. Mix the slurry well and then add it slowly to the eggs while mixing it all together. Optionally, you can add 1 to 2 tablespoons of oil. Warm up a 10-inch pan on medium-low to low heat and lightly grease the pan with oil on a paper towel. Add enough of the egg mix, or about 1/3 cup, to a warm pan and swirl it around to cover the entire pan. You can see why those thin omelets reminded me of these noodles. Let it cook slowly until the edges start to curl up, and once you swirl it around the pan freely, slide it onto the plate. You can lift it off the pan with your hands, but I found that to be too hot. Once you're done, you can roll up 2 or 3 eggy noodle discs at a time and slice them thin or thick. It's up to you. Don't roll up too many at a time. It makes it harder to slice and separate. Take your time. I'll have to admit, maybe I got 75% of the way there, maybe 85% once I added the noodles to the soup. I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's difficult recreating a memory. Thanks again to Regusea, and thanks again to you for watching. If you ever had a memory bubble up from a meal or a snack, or care to share a food memory with me, please comment below, and I'll see you next time.